Kim Bertram, I do see you in the back. Kim works for Eulogy, and she's a PA. She is a very, very rare person. And I believe you're actually married to a pastor, am I right? She makes house calls, or grace house calls as it was in our case. She's associated with Dr. Burleson downtown, who's a very fine neurologist, but I have a feeling Kim is the brains behind the whole operation. She comes in and finds out what you remember and what you don't remember, and how you walk, and how you slide, and how you hunch over, and how this medicine does that. And I'd show her an iPhone with a list of 20 things on it, and she'd go, "We've got to get that out of there." And she'd fix it, and she knew all of the ways in and out, and has a wealth of experience. And I thought you might be here, and Kim, you were just the best. And having someone come to see Tom in his own environment, where he was kind of natural, it was just invaluable. Thank you to Richard and Carolyn. We've already heard about their being here for just 3 months, my in-laws. And they've always asked about Tom, month after month after month, year after year. And as soon as they got here, pretty much when the moving truck was kind of on its way out of the driveway, it's like, "We need to go see Tom." And I was like, "You can go see Tom?" "What do you like?" "We can go see Tom." And it wasn't, just a day or two before they went and saw Tom, and going to see Tom is something that Richard remembered to do often. And as things moved along, as he got here in the end, they went to West Oaks, and Tom didn't really eat so well when he wasn't really closely helped. And Carolyn went and fed him his lunch, or helped him eat or chew or cut up his food. And I did that many times myself, and it's not easy and it's not fun, but it is loving. And Carolyn, I want to thank you very much for being so loving to Tom firsthand in person. And last Saturday was a day where things could have gone, things didn't seem like they were likely to improve, and Carolyn came over with Richard. We stayed in his room all afternoon. Carolyn held his hand for all of 2 or 3 hours, just trying to be comforting and kind to him. So Carolyn, you were wonderful, and I thank you for showing so much love to Dad. The people from New Century Hospice and Nikki, I don't know if they're even here or not, they were very wonderful, and thank you. My dad passed peacefully, and I know they were a big part of that. And Nurse Justine was very important at the end. I don't see her anymore, so she was great at helping us both get through that very trying moment at the end of his life. So I want to thank you all for being a part of honoring my dad today. I know some people came very far. Some people came from Victoria, and it was very important. And I thank you, Uncle Dave, for being here. The times we played games on your kitchen table with Mom and Dad together are some of the happiest family memories I have. And all of the Christmases that you shared, the Goris Christmas with the Doughertys, it was wonderful. So everyone has tried to find an amusing story or two to tell about Tom, and I do not want to be left out. So, as you know, Tom had a gradual decline, and he had gout in his foot, and he couldn't stand, so he couldn't get out of bed, he couldn't walk, anything like that. He was hospitalized in April. So, hours and hours went by. You can only watch Bonanza and MASH on TV so many times before you realize maybe there's a better use of the time. So I pulled back a memory that some Alzheimer's resource said that, go talk to your loved one about older memories. They're more likely to pull them back. You can share things. So I thought, well, time may be running short. I should probably go kind of get some information, and if we can talk about our heritage a bit. So I'd like to share with you the actual conversation about the birth of my twin brother and I. Hey, Dad, do you remember when Charles and I were born? Yes, a little bit. Well, do you remember who Charles was named after? Not really. Okay, I'm disappointed there. Do you remember who David was named after? He perked up. He said, yes, we named David right after Charles. At which point I said, it's not going to get any better than that. That's brilliant. And as you know, I ran to my iPhone and started typing that in because I knew I was going to share it with you today. Cal, I was expecting to hear you specifically there. I don't know. We've had decorum today, haven't we? But so I'm glad we're all having a good time. The last day was last Sunday morning, and as Abigail is prone to do, she likes to go to church at 9 o'clock and help with things in the back end. And we talked a little bit about her grandpa's time coming to an end soon, and did she want to talk to him or see him before she goes? I'm afraid I'm going to make Abigail cry. I'm sorry, sweetie. So I dropped Abigail off at church, and I went to West Oaks, like I had been doing kind of as my routine to check on. And he was not doing well. In fact, the hospice people were there, and she said that he probably would not last the day. Turns out he didn't last the hour, so it was quite a bit different than we expected. But I kind of sorted things out. I knew Vivian was trying to come by in the afternoon. I tried to get a hold of her. But I thought I'd better scoot over to our church, which wasn't too far from where West Oaks is, and see if I could make this possible. So I went in scurrying. People could tell that there was something kind of not right about the situation. And I finally said, Grandpa's not doing well, and I know you've got some things to do this afternoon. I don't know if he's still going to be here in the afternoon. We plan on coming. If you want to say goodbye to Grandpa, we probably need to go right now. And I said, he's not doing well. It's not pretty. Do you want to go see him? And she said, yeah, I really want to go. So I tried to prepare her for what it was like, and to be honest, when we had talked about how things would end for my dad, it wasn't in my plan to be there at the last moment because I didn't want to be. But time worked out such that I was. So tried to kind of put on a happy face, and Abigail reassured her, come on in. Sister Justine was there, keeping Dad comfortable. And she said, in the exact same way, with the exact same charm as every other time she's seen her grandpa for the last 7 years, "Hi, Grandpa." And it was like he heard her, and he kind of took a big breath. And I'll spare you the remainder, but the end followed shortly, just after Abigail arrived. So Abigail did get to say, by reading there, "I love you, Grandpa." Now, within the last 6 months or so, Abigail got some flowers for a certain occasion, and she thought that was great. Well, Abigail, you shared a very difficult day and did a very grown-up thing, and something you never expected. So these flowers are yours. And now we try to lighten the mood. Tom had a lot of affectations as he went through his later days. Kathy and I can't quite figure out where this all came from. For those of you that know Hudson in any way, he is a percussionist through and through and through. He will hit anything to make a sound. He embraces the rhythms of the thing. He has no regard for Dad's early bedtime or the open space between our game room where he tends to have his boy cave and the bedroom where I tend to have my man sleep. That's okay. It's cool. He's 17. So I don't know that this is a fact, but I like to think that this is because of Hudson and the frequency which we talked about bands and marches and excitement and things like that. And I know all of you Grace House people are going to totally relate to this. You know where this story is going. So Dad had this way of responding to good news when he really wasn't expressing himself in a lot of other ways. And he just responded to everything with a little bit of Stars and Stripes Forever, which is ta-da-da-da-da. I mean, any bit of good news. Hey, Hudson's marching band won a competition. I finished my project at work. Matt Gower was back there, that's Dylan's dad. Tom wouldn't take his medicine at the end. He just kind of got sort of a defiant thing. It's hard to not be able to kind of be in control of all your capacities. So he wasn't going to take his medicine. Well, Matt said, Tom, I got a better idea. Let's have a vitamin race. And Matt took his vitamins at lunchtime with Tom, racing him so that Tom would always take the medicine that he needed. So, he always Tom, you won again! It's like Charlie winning the longest football game in the world. You know, won the vitamin race every time. So, after watching Tom decline all these years and dealing with the hardship that Alzheimer's brings to a person's life, and some of this has been said before in different portions of our program. Dad, you made it. You finished the race. You're in heaven, whole again. Between square dances and spending time with the angels, I'd like you to please tell Mom I still miss her and say hi from David. And I hope you'll tell her that I did my best. And I know Dad would like to hear this. And I'll gladly say, I finished the race. We now have some very special guests to honor Tom for his service in the Air Force and the Air National Guard.